Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. We're going to be talking about the 6 ways to get new listings when inventory is low. Thank you so much for being here. If you are brand new to our series, please pop your name and where you're from into that Q&A panel there. We would love to greet you and give you a proper hello. Power agents, you know the drill too. Use that Q&A to tell us where you're from, what you hope to get out of today. We'd also love to hear, why this topic is appealing to you. What made it stand out? If you would like, there's a little handout button there. You'll see that red button. You can click on that and download a workbook so you can write down which strategies you want to take away from today's session. We are going to be getting started here shortly. If you don't have to bounce at the top of the hour, do stick around. We're going to take questions and do some coaching at the end of today's session. So if you don't have to leave at the top of the hour, please stick around for that. Sarah is with us too. Sarah will be handling any technical issues we might have today. And Wendy Hatton, a power agent from Ohio, is kicking us off. Welcome, Wendy. Thanks for being here today. Follow Wendy's lead. Use that Q&A panel there to tell us where you're from and what you hope to get out of today. We would love to see that. If you're brand new to our series, we'd love to see that as well and give you a shout out. All of our power agents are on the line too. Say hello. Let us know that you're here. Don't be shy. As I said, this Q&A panel is where we're going to take any questions as well. So get used to using it. Hey, Lillian from Westchester County, New York. Welcome. Thanks for being here today. As I said, we are going to get started here shortly. Today, we're really going to be doing a deep dive into how to get new listings when inventory is low. Hey, Mr. Z from Groton, Connecticut. Hey, Dana. Hey, Karen. Hey, Judy, power agent. Mary, of course, power agent. Hello.
Of course.
Of course. She's always with us.
Julie, let's do this because we only have a couple of minutes before we start. Hey, gang, do me a favor. A different way of the question that Julie just asked. So we know this is about building inventory. What is the biggest challenge you're facing as to why you're not getting listings? So personally, what is holding you back? What's your biggest challenge for you in getting listings? I want to hear that. And let's clear the decks and say hello to everybody, Julie, really quick so we can get to those answers.
Perfect. Hey, Madeline. Hey, Diane. Hello, Bernie. Hello, Joyce. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Jim. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Donna. Sarah's new to this series. Welcome. We're glad to have you. Got Salima. Quinn. Lillian said, I recently joined. I'm anxious to become knowledgeable and successful. Quinn says, decision makers in the room. Dana says the sellers have cold feet. So I think we're going to start to get those answers now. If you want to.
Right. Anybody else? What challenge are you having in getting listings? So Dana is sellers have cold feet because they don't know where they're going to go. Right. Yeah. Decision makers in the room. Quinn. Yeah. You need to get both people in the room. You're exactly right. Let's see. Bob Mueller, challenge to getting listings, too few properties and a crap ton of realtors.
It's an official measurement.
That's it. That's a measurement in Kentucky. Thank you for that, sir. All right. Well, it is 12 o'clock, Jules. So let me sellers cold feet, Karen, mortgage. You can read those, Julie, while I get the slides ready for the session.
Perfect. Will do. Janet says mortgage rates. Karen says sellers cold feet. Judy says finding a solution for where they are going. Kim said short-term rental rules. Awesome. Keep them coming. How to identify people who are thinking about selling. Getting listings is challenging. Getting past do not call phone lines. Hey, Jose. Fewer opportunities to meet sellers who are truly motivated to move. No place to move to. Don't wish to give up their nice low mortgage rate or no mortgage at all. Yep. Other agents undercutting you. Mary says buyers are out there wanting to buy, but few listings, even though we are concentrating on getting listings every day. I know you are, Mary. All right, you ready to get rocking and rolling?
Yeah, so I'm really glad we asked this question because, and the answers that we got is, give me 1 second, gang. I know we're officially started now, but I just need to finish reading what you guys are saying. Give me a second here. My challenge is that this area is not known. Okay. Because some of what you're saying are things that need to address on a listing appointment, right? So today's going to be about getting the leads in your funnel. So let me just start teaching really quick, Julie, because this is important. This is good.
Sure.
So when it comes to getting listings, there's certain levels or phases. So this is not part of the session, but based on your feedback. If some of you may have heard this expression before about a funnel, you know what a funnel looks like, right? So at the top of the funnel, it's wide. And as you go down the funnel, it gets more narrow. So in building listing inventory, you need to have a lot of leads. And those leads will turn into, now I'm going down the funnel, those leads will turn into appointments. Those appointments will turn to attended appointments, scheduled and attended, because sometimes you don't attend 100%. Attended appointments, and then out comes the listing, right? So a lot of what you guys are sharing is sellers' concerns, cold feet, not knowing where to go, interest rates, etc. I get it. Today's topic is going to be focusing totally on the top of the funnel. How can we just get more appointments, period, end of story? Then the other trainings that we have will address, all right, how to get better in that funnel when it comes to the turning that lead into an appointment and that appointment into a listing, right? So there's almost like 3 separate sessions, if you will, on that. All right. So Julie, let's get the party started.
Sounds good. Welcome, everybody, to today's session, 6 ways to get new listings when inventory is low, with our host with the most, Daryl Davis. To get the most from today's session, we want you to take really good notes. We want you to use that Q&A panel there to ask any questions you might have. Don't stress if we don't get to them right away. We are going to be taking those at the end, so stick around if you can. If you want to ask us or reach out to us at any time after today's session, you can reach us on all social media channels at Daryl Speaks. Daryl's the author of 3 books, all published by McGraw-Hill Publishers. That first one you see there, How to Become a Power Agent in Real Estate, is actually one of the best-selling books to agents on Amazon.
It's a really good book.
It is a good book. Daryl was named this year by Risk Media Magazine as one of the top influencers and newsmakers, his 4th year running. And he is also the recipient of the coveted CSP designation, which is only given to less than 2% of speakers worldwide. On that, Daryl, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Julie. So listen, gang, before I get into this topic, I want to share a few things. And one of them right now is I can tell you're a good audience already from how we started this. So you're engaged, which is really awesome. Stay engaged, please. I want you to write down questions because as I teach these 6 ways, you're going to have some questions and then we're going to address those at the end. So if you want to, if you were supposed to be somewhere in an hour, and if you can push it to 90 minutes late, like 30 minutes later, make a call now while I address a few other things. First of all, because that's the last 30 minutes, or some people say that's like the cream of the crop of the webinar. Okay. Is this a sales pitch? If you're your first time here, no, it's not a sales pitch. This is a training session, but it is a training session that's geared towards our coaching members who are called power agents. So some of you on this call are guests, and we're so happy that you're on the call. As a guest, I'm just saying that because from time to time, I may have like a sidebar conversation with the power agents telling them, hey, here's where something is on the website or whatever. So I just want you to be aware of that, okay? Because a lot of what power agents have is all of the stuff, everything that I show in these webinars, they have access to. Now, if you're a guest, you'll see on the screen right now, there's all these cool bonuses that are worth like almost $2,000. If as a gift or an incentive, if you want to become a power agent today at some point during the training, you can do it now if you wanted to, clicking on that thing. We email you all of this content, plus you'll get a copy of this recording and everything else. Now, regardless of whether you become a power agent or not as a guest, you want to take your cell phone and maybe take a picture of that QR code. That QR code is to a by invitation only Facebook group that I have just for people who have attended my seminars or training before. It's to stay connected and to get some other bonus training stuff. So that's there for you. Okay. Last thing I'm going to say is this session, some of the weekly sessions that I do, I go wide on a topic where I'll cover a lot of things, but I don't go deep on it. Like some training that we have, like how to do the listing appointment is one that we're going to be doing. How to be crazy confident on a listing appointment is coming up. That one I'm going deep. It's just on the listing appointment, or just how to master the telephone. So today, because we're talking about 6 strategies, I'm not going deep on those 6. Each one of those could be a webinar in of itself. So let's go to the first one. Take notes if you got it. This is number 1 out of 6 is FSBOs and expireds. Now let's just remember something, what this topic is and what we're trying to accomplish here. What we're trying to accomplish is how do we shake the trees and generate more listing leads? All right, so I want to say this again of what I said a moment ago. To build inventory, I'm going to use an analogy. So if you, and I love using restaurant, one of my favorite shows is Hell's Kitchen. Used to be anyway. My wife used to be a pastry chef, so we seem to watch these bake-off channels quite a bit. And if you look at a restaurant, when it comes to owning and running a restaurant, you've got the chef in the kitchen, right? And then you've got the bookkeeper of the business, and then you have the host or hostess. Then you have the waiters, the servers. You have the bartender. You might have a pastry chef, depending on how high-end your restaurant is. Now, listen, watch this. Each one of those takes a different skill set. Like the chef can't really be a host. The host can't be a pastry chef. The bartender can't be a server, well, maybe, but a server can't be a bartender. There's different skill sets for each one of those. Are you all with me here? When it comes to building inventory, so I'm breaking this down for some of you because it can be very overwhelming. There's different skill sets in mastering getting listings. One is generating the appointments. Again, we talked about this at the beginning of the webinar. Getting the appointments or making the calls. For some of you, just making the calls would be a breakthrough. Then getting the appointments is a different skill set from actually going on the listing, having a listing conversation, turning that into a listing. Then there's the marketing, right? So right now what we have to focus on, how do we fill our pipeline? How do we get a lot of appointments? Now, FSBOs and expireds are the best. Why? What do we know about FSBOs and expireds? It's because they want to what? They want to sell. But Daryl, what about FSBOs and expireds that are on the do not call list? And for my New Yorkers, as a fellow New Yorker, the one that always comes up in New York, you can't call FSBOs in a state of emergency. We've always been in a state of emergency because it's political now. Since the pandemic, it's just, we're always going to be in this perpetual state of emergency. So don't wait for it to end because it ain't ever going to end. Now, I am not going to get into the legalities of whether you can or can't call FSBOs on the do not call list. You have to do whatever your broker says to do. If your broker doesn't have a thing, then you decide. But I will tell you this. I recorded a video just last weekend addressing this. And because it came up again and it got me a little riled, so I got a little passionate. I recorded a 15-minute or 12-minute video on why you can call FSBOs on the do not call list. Now, if you take a screenshot, I posted it in that group that I just told you, gang. So if you join that group, you can watch that 12-minute session on why with our research that you can. So, but listen, I don't want to convince you. If you're not going to call, if you don't want to call FSBOs and expireds, then that's fine. That's your choice. Then today you're going to get 5 good ideas in building your strategy, building listings. Now, I will tell you this: if you're concerned, like even if you don't agree with the do not call list and FSBO, the way we see it, then just call the ones that aren't on the do not call list. Call the FSBOs and expireds that are not on the do not call list. There's plenty of leads. By the way, you don't have to just go to the most current FSBOs or expireds. You can go back months and months. Now, one of the trainings that we did recently, I want to talk to the power agents for a second. Power agents, you'll see there on the date says 6-7. So just last week, I did a session on how to unlock the value of realtor. And a lot of that is really great content when you're on a for sale by owner, showing a for sale by owner that they don't save money, They actually lose money. Every study shows, even the CEOs of FSBO companies like FSBO.com, ForSaleByOwner.com. For those of you who don't know, those two CEOs of these FSBO websites, they didn't even do FSBO. They sold their property and they listed with a real estate agent. One of them was a Coldwell Banker agent in Florida. So when you have the CEO of these two major FSBO sites not even being a FSBO, hello, that should be a message. So that webinar, Power Agents, you've got to watch that. Also, there was some other training we have for you, Power Agents, about the secret of getting more listings with FSBOs unexpired. Like I said, we went really deep on that. How to use RedX, which is the file system. I'll talk about that in a second. Here is the guest. If you guys decide you want to sign up, we're going to email you the scripts and dialogues for calling FSBOs unexpired. So you'll have it right away. You'll have access to everything, but we like to shoot that to you right away as soon as you sign up. Let me show you some interesting statistics about FSBOs. I did talk about this last week. I want to show you the slides again. In 2021, the number of people who were FSBO were 82%. In 2022, it jumped to 88%. Now, this is an interesting stat. This is from Zillow. Now, you all know, if you've been in real estate since the pandemic, you know that from 20 to 21 to 22, with some pause in 23, for the most part, since the pandemic, this has been the hottest sellers market that we've ever seen in this generation, and even the next generation. I mean, it's been crazy how hot of a seller's market's been. But why, oh why, in a hot seller's market, where you would think homeowners don't need us, that the percentage of people who decided to work with a realtor went up, not down. If you do the percentage of 82 and 8, that's not 4%. The percentage of that is like, I can't do the math right now. It's like 40% or something. That's a huge jump when you go from 82 to 88. Why is that? Because it's more complicated in this day and age to sell a house. Why? Because homeowners need us more now than ever. So here's another way of saying this. Let me say it a different way for you. 88% of homeowners that are thinking about selling right now are going to hire a realtor. My question is it going to be you? That's how we should look at it. Any FSBOs that are coming to your market, the remaining part of this year, come on now, 88% of them are going to list with somebody. Who are they going to list with? I'll tell you, the agent who calls them, the agent who shows up, the agent who's in front of them. Listen, there's something we know about homeowners and buyers. And I say this lovingly. They don't understand loyalty. How many times has that happened to you where you had this buyer, you sold them a house, and then 5 years later they listed with somebody else? You're like, what the hell is that? Some of you Some of you, you've got family members who won't even list or buy through you. It's one of the greatest questions of our industry. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know why people are so fickle, why they don't understand what they're doing. So my point in all this is that 88%, I don't care if they got a friend in the family, a relative, whatever. I'm dropping stuff. Let me go back. That 88% of the homeowners in your market are going to wind up listed with a realtor. You need to be in front of them. You need to call them. You need to knock on the door. All right, let me show you something else. This was done by Trillo, and they looked at in hot cities the average sales price for the FSBO and the average sales price that were basically not FSBOs, which would be realtors. And what you will notice, San Francisco, 31%. FSBO sold for 31% less than the ones that were handled by realtors. 27%, 15%, 14%. You got a couple of weird cities in Ohio that did better. But here's my point. This says that even if we charge the homeowner a full commission, they still net more money in their pocket. A very small percentage of FSBOs are listing their home. Just another study that was done by Trillium. Now, here's an interesting stat I want to show you. Is that of all the FSBOs, so go back to that 88%. So that gives us 12% of the homeowners who are FSBO. Of the 12%, well, in this stat, because there were fractions, so it's 11%. because they had to take some outliers out. Of those 11% of the FSBOs who successfully sold, sorry, that's not the stat. Let me show you here. Here it is. 11% who sold at 100% sold for less. 26% on average. So here's my point with all these stats and all the research. This was from NAR 2020 profile of a home buyer and home seller. So here's my point that I'm trying to make, gang. And we go in greater depth in that other training session that I did last week, is that FSBOs need us more now than ever. The majority of them are going to be listed with an agent. We need to be in front of them, and we actually help them net more money. You don't cost a homeowner money. You actually make them money. After they've paid your fee, they actually net more money. Every statistic shows it. And there's so many more I didn't even show you because that's not today's topic. But I'm sharing it with you now because I want you to have some conviction and passion that you're not selling people, you're serving, you're helping them. They just don't understand they're making a mistake when they do a FSBO. I think the reason why the majority also of homeowners who wind up listing with an agent is because they recognize they're not saving money. You know what happens when somebody tries being a FSBO? They put it on, you know what that happens. They call us in, we give them a price, or they go to Zillow and they look at the neighbors' houses and they say, my house is nicer than that. My house is special. I did all these improvements. I got a 14-karat gold toilet bowl. We use thicker wood. Yeah, so I'm going to ask more. Now, they put it on the market, and what happens? They get no showings, or they get a lot of showings, and then they get these offers that are like 100,000 below or whatever, and they get so annoyed, and they start to discover, you know what? This is not a good idea. They tried it, and then they become a listing with a realtor. All right, so what's the plan? Let me give you a plan here. Here's the plan. For number one, here's what I'm going to tell you, because, again, we're not going deep on number one today, but I want to at least give you a plan. Number one is you need to commit to certain days and times when you're going to hit the phones and prospect. FSBOs, old FSBOs, expireds, old expireds, go back a year. There's so much leads out there. You will be shocked that there's more leads than you realize. But you need to commit. You need to schedule a certain day and time when you're going to do this. And then the next thing is you actually have to be committed to your commitment. Now, this is a big deal. This sounds a little woo-woo, but I need you to hear me on this. If we're honest, some of you don't want to do this. Not because of the do not call list and all that stuff. It's just because you don't have fear. Fear has you. This is uncomfortable calling complete strangers and da-da-da. And this is part of what we help power agents break through. One of the biggest things power agents break through is not having fear control them anymore, the telephone. We've got power agents say, I love calling FSBOs now because they got past. There's this invisible barrier that that holds you back. But man, when you break through that barrier, oh, gee, you feel so in control of your career. So in control. You feel powerful. When you don't have fear, have you feel powerful. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, it takes you being committed to your commitment because in the beginning of doing this, it's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's like going to a gym. If you were some of you go to the gym, I don't go to the gym, but I've seen it on television. And people go to the gym, you know what I'm talking about. Like those people that love the gym, they will not miss the gym. They got right there. They got specific days and time that they go, and you know what? They don't fit the gym into their life. They fit their life into the gym plan. That's numero uno. Everything else works around it. That's what you got to do here with this. Now, if you decided you want to get healthy and go to the gym, but if you did, in the beginning, you're going to hate it. You're not going to want to do it. You're going to have to push through. And there's going to be times when you so don't want to do it, but that's when number two comes into place. You got to be committed to your commitment. You got to push past the I don't want to. Eventually, what starts to happen, you start losing weight, you start looking svelte, start looking rico suave. Then you're okay, I love this. I'm hooked now. See, and that's what'll happen when you push through this. All right, let's go to the next thing. You need support and encouragement. I said that a moment ago. Power agents, I'm going to talk to the new power agents yet, because the new power agents, they come into this program and they're like, oh my God, this, like, you don't realize how much this program has because of what we charge. It's like, they can't have us. It's too unbelievable. So when they come into this, it's like, remember the Wizard of Oz when Dorothy opens up the thing at Oz and then turns into color, and then the horses and the munchkins and everybody said it's huge. That's the power program. When you get in behind the door, it's like, oh my God. So power agents sometimes get overwhelmed. And here's what I want to tell you, power agents. One of the most important things you have to do is be on those Monday coaching calls with me, because unlike these webinars where you're listening and I'm teaching you, it's not the same, it's better. Like, you can come off hold, you can talk to me, I role play with you. So the Monday coaching calls are awesome, but power agents will tell you, if there's any power agents in the house here, could you, oops, I just lost my screen here. Give me a second. Okay, that was scary. Power agents, if you are on the call, do me a favor, write on the Q&A, what do you think about the Monday coaching calls? Tell the other power agents, is it good? Should they be on it? What do you think about it? Okay. All right. So here's the next thing. And if you're not a power agent or you don't become a power agent, you need to get support. Let me tell you one thing you should do for the non-power agents to help get support is tell as many people as you can your commitment to making these calls. Tell your manager, make a schedule, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then give it to your manager, give it to your spouse and say, this is going to be my prospecting schedule. I need you to hold me accountable. Okay. All right. Next thing is you got to have a good script. You want to know why you have a good script? So you don't have to use the script. I know that sounds like an oxymoron. Let me tell you what I mean. When you have a really good, now my specialty is FSBOs and expireds. I can call 3 FSBOs. Some power agents, you've seen me do this live on stage. Just did it in the last live event. If I call 3 FSBOs, I'll schedule 2 appointments. I'm really good. It's how I built my business as an agent. And here's what I can tell you. When you know the script so well, then you're not focused on the script. You're like, you start to use your own words. The homeowner throws an objection at you, you handle it. You can dance. So, that's a good analogy. Let's use dancing. Let's say you are really good at dancing. No, let's say you're really bad at dancing. You're trying to learn how to dance. When you're learning how to dance, and if you're taking dance class and you get married, you get wedding, and you're trying to learn the steps, in the beginning, it's kind of painful, right? Because you're thinking about how to move your feet and over here and hit the mark and blah, blah, blah. But once you know it so well, now you're not doing the dance, you're being the dance. Then you can kind of throw in your own little move. You see, you make it your own. You make it your own. So when you know the script so well, you can dance. Let me give you an example. Watch it. Me calling FSBOs. Hi, I'm calling about the house for sale. It's still available. Hi, this is Daryl Davis, Power Realty. How are you? The original calling one of your worker brokers to sell your property. So you are trying to do it on your own. I'm just curious if you want to save the brokerage fee. Let me ask you this: where you moving to? When you need to get there by? Let me ask you this: if I had a buyer who's willing to pay your price, pay my commission, can we work together? It is possible. I'm curious to do that, but first I need to see the house. Listen, you got nothing to lose and everything to gain. After all, you're letting complete strangers into the house. Would you be offended if I came over at 6 or would 7 be better? Ta-da! When you know it so well, you can just get off the path, get back on. It's dancing. You want to dance, you got to learn it. So have a good script. Next thing is have a system for leads. Listen, you and I have an emotional bank account. I'm going to say that again. You and I have an emotional bank account. And things and people or things are either making deposits or they're making withdrawals. See, all my married people know what I'm talking about right now. If you're blessed and you're lucky, you're married to somebody who makes a lot of deposits in your emotional bank account. If you're not, sometimes you're married, they drain you. But this is true in sales as well. When we go into the office, we go in. We got an emotional bank account. We're ready to rock and roll, baby. I just watched the webinar with Daryl Davis. I'm going to call. I'm going to prospect. And then all of a sudden you get hung up or you don't get an answer. You're making your calls. Your emotional bank account's getting drained every call, every moment. Now, it's important you hit the phones with a full. This is by Stephen Covey, by the way. He talks about emotional bank account. You got to have that full tank of emotion. Get ready to deal with the challenges. Now, if you've got to try and find your leads, like let me go online and let me reverse and let me check, like you getting ready to call drains your emotional bank account. So then, like you're already hitting the calls with less in the bank. You see, so you want to have a system. Jot this down. Power agents, you know what I'm going to say. Guest Red-X. Red-X to me is the best system that will help you get FSBOs, expireds, pre-foreclosures, farming, geo leads. To me, they're the best. Listen, this is how Red-X is. Red-X is to be a successful realtor. You need a cell phone. You need a car. You need to look presentable, and you need to have Red-X. I think those. Oh, and a CRM. I'm serious. Like that's how important it is. If you want listings, if you don't want listings, you're not prospecting, then forget it. Now, power agents, you got like something that saves you over $700. Power agents, you don't pay anything for a month. So power agents, go into the classroom for that. All right. The last thing is you got to have a strong listing appointment. You have to have a strong listing appointment. It needs to be organized. You can't just shoot from the hip. Think about it. If you're going into somebody and you're asking them to hire you and the pay for you might be like 10, 20, 30 grand, do you think you should go in with just a folder or nothing and just kind of talk? No, man. You should have this happens to be on my desk because I'm working on a new training program for the power agents. They don't even know about it. This is one of my original manuals. Most of this is all digital now on the Power Program website. This manual is like 476 pages because I've been doing this for 30 years, training agents. I got a lot to say. Anyway, this is you go into a listing appointment and say, here is my seller's success system. Jot that down. Seller's success system. It's alliteration. I love it. You should go in with a plan to say, this is the book. This over here is gold, Mr. and Mrs. Hana. This is how I can help you get to your next level in your life. Let me share with you how I do what I do. I'm hitting my keyboard. Are we still good, Julie? Is everything still up on the screen the way it should be?
Yes.
I just hit my keyboard with the book, so I don't know.
You're throwing stuff today. You're close. You're very passionate today.
So what you need is when you go into a listing appointment, you don't walk in, you strut in with your plan, you see. Okay, so all right, now I just had another issue here, Julie. Okay, hang on a second. We're getting very passionate today. All right. So the next thing you guys need. So that's the first one. FSBOs and expireds. Let's go on to the next thing, gang. The next thing is cold calling. Now, when it comes to cold calling, that's different than FSBOs and expireds because FSBOs and expireds, they have advertised in some fashion, either on MLS or on as a FSBO. Hey, look, I'm looking to sell. Cold calling, we're just taking a bunch of people and we're hitting it. It's a numbers game. It's less quality. It's quantity. But let me share something with you that will make it better. Now, first of all, let me talk to the power agents for a second. Power agents, when you go to your dashboard, when you go into the Power Agent Hub, this is what it looks like Dorothy into the Wizard of Oz. I wish I could remember that song. Anyway, so you go in there and you've got all these things. One of them is the prospecting tab. When you go there, there's over 40 dialogues for FSBOs, expireds, pre-foreclosures, absentee owners, follow up to open houses. This great dialogue. Now, The one that I want to just talk about is I have a buyer dialogue. Because what's true in our market now, in most parts of the country, we've got more buyers than we have sellers. We honestly have buyers who are committed to buying in a particular neighborhood, and there's nothing to show them. So what I want you to do is just hit the phone every day, like go in a prospecting gym, call FSBO's expired, and here's another one. You call them and say, hi, may I speak with Ms. Hanna? The reason why I was calling is I have a buyer who's been searching very seriously for a home to buy in your area. As I'm sure you're aware, the number of houses for sale is very low. So I was calling to see if you've heard anyone thinking of selling. No, all right, well, let me ask you, have you ever thought about selling? And then the dialogue goes on. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole dialogue because that's the main part. So what I'm telling you, gang, what I want you to do is call every single homeowner in your area. Now, the ones that are on the do not call list, you probably shouldn't call those folks. FSBOs or expireds are different. But when it's cold calling, you take them out of the list. And if you use Redex, they'll tell you who's on the do not call list. So that way you can manage that easily. And you call every single one and say, and if you want to make it better, listen, write this down, please. Instead of just saying, I'm going to change this. Instead of just saying, the reason why I'm calling is I have a buyer who's been searching very seriously. I add in there, I have a buyer, this couple by the name of John and Mary, and they are so serious about buying a house in this neighborhood. I personally promised them I would call everyone in the neighborhood and shake the tree, see if I can find somebody who's thinking about selling. So that's why I'm calling you. Have you heard of anybody, Mrs. Hanna, that's been thinking about selling? When you put a name to the buyer, it makes it more more credible. Now, one last thing on this, using the telephone, because we're going to go on to some other stuff. When you don't call, when you have fear, have control of you, this is what it's costing you. Imagine if you called 1 hour a day. You did it 5 days a week. That's 5 hours a month. And if you did 5 hours a month, 5 hours a week times 4 weeks would be 20 hours a month. Sorry. 1 day a week, 5 days, that's 5 hours in a week. Multiply it by 4 weeks, you got 20 hours a month. Okay, now let's look at these numbers. Let's say that you got one appointment for every hour. That's 20 appointments in a month. Now, I could stop right there. That's pretty good, yes? See, listen, even if you are horrible on the phone, if you call, let me ask you, if you called 1 hour a day, anybody, but it's about real estate, is there a good chance out of an hour you're going to get one appointment? Absolutely. Even if you're horrible on the phone. If you did that for 5 days, that's 20. Anyway, you got the point. It's 20 hours. You can do your 20 appointments in a month. If you got 20 appointments a month, and if let's say only 5 of those turned into listings, and let's say only 3 of those sold, which they probably all would sell, and if your commission was $10,000 per listing sold, that's a total of $30,000 in commissions you generated. If you did that in that 1 month, do that for a whole year, that comes out to $360,000. If I was half right, if you only did it half of the time, if you were 50% worse than what I just projected here, that's still $180,000 in a year. Come on. Let's hit the phones. Number 1, FSBOs expires. Number 2, cold call. Number 3, hit the streets. Hit the streets. Get out there. Let me tell you something. I did a new webinar recently where I used the word work as an acronym. And the W, you got to get to work. And the W stood for, oh my gosh, Julie, what is the W? I just drew a total blank. I'm so sorry. I think it's walk the streets. I'm sorry, that's what it was. Walk the streets. So W, walk the streets, hit the streets. Hit the streets, because here's why I put that in there. Because first of all, during the pandemic, I think a lot of us got, we're staying in more so. We're doing more virtual stuff. We got better at technology, yada, yada. And we've gotten too attached to our computers. And I think we are in a people business. We need to hit the streets more. We need to get out more. Let me show you some examples. One of our power agents, Marco had posted this on the Facebook group for the Power Agents and went out for a purposeful walk, which I really like that he said purposeful walk around the neighborhood today. Happened to be a neighborhood garage sale. Of course, I took a handful of business cards and cash just in case we found something. Using some of the script conversations from the Power Agent Library, I was able to have a meaningful conversation with some of the neighbors. I handed out my cards and ended up with 2 leads, one with immediate need. I have their names and numbers, and of course their address plus bonus. Got some tacos from the local taco stand. Thanks to the Power Agent, I have learned there's more options than just cold calling and ads. And there's the local taco stand, which is kind of cute. So, first of all, hitting the streets and getting out into the world and participating can be fun. It can put the joy back into real estate. So let me give you some value things that you can bring with you when you're hitting the streets, like Marco was saying. Have some flyers that might have some meaning to homeowners, some things that validate our industry. I like this one about the curb appeal on a budget, or declutter and downsizing. And, these kind of things are key. They'll hang on to it. It presents you as knowledgeable in the industry. We have an in-house graphic designer by the name of Camille. And Camille, she creates all of our pieces. And they're absolutely just beautiful. And so, Power Agents, the new Power Agents, you have to understand, you've got like a whole team working for you in my company. Like when you become a Power Agent, you're actually getting access to a graphics designer, a writer, a marketer, social media posts. There's so much, like your team grows tenfold when you are a Power Agent, because we're here to support you. You should have door knocking dialogue. So let me give you an example of door knocking. Great. I just want to introduce myself. Here's something of value. If there's anything I can ever do for you and your family regards to real estate, my number's at the bottom there. And oh, by the way, I'm also offering neighbors this neighborhood market report. It's a report that offers 2 things. First, it shows you how much your neighbors paid for their homes. And second, based on that information, it gives you a value range of what your property is worth. We believe it's really important because a home is usually one of the family's most important assets. And just like a stock portfolio, periodically, you should get an update of the value of your asset. Is that something you'd be interested in? Now, listen, gang, we call it a neighborhood market report. It's a CMA, but I like calling it neighborhood market report because I think it sounds better. It says what it is. Now, Power Agents, we create a certificate for you called the Neighborhood Market Report, and so you can give that out when you're hitting the streets in your farm. Another thing that you can do when you're hitting your streets is these smile stops. Power Agents, you've heard us talk about this. The reason why we call it a smile stop is because the acronym for SMILE, you're focusing on service, you're meeting face to face. You invite them to share about themselves and about their goals, perhaps. You leave behind a gift, and you then elevate the relationship because you're going to follow up. So, for example, one of our Power Agents said, Cracker Jack box, she would give it out with a little note saying, you want to take a crack at real estate, let Paige help you find your prize. You won't get jacked on your next real estate transaction. Larry Gardner, one of our best Smile Stop Power Agents, he has this ice cream scoop with his contact information. We've got the scoop on the real estate market, or using a highlighter saying, let me highlight some ways to get your house sold for FSBOs. This one here, Ashley, what she did is a Power Agent. She posted this in the Facebook group. One of her clients got a severe attack of COVID. This was actually last year. And so what she did is it was the client's birthday, so she got a little mini cake with candles and stopped by the house for them. Here's another Power Agent doing smile stops, bringing fresh flowers to some of her clients. Now, what Larry Gardner did once again is he did a reverse. He called it a reverse smile stop. He made that up. I never called it that, and I love it. What he did was he was at a coffee shop, and he promoted to everybody, hey, I'm going to be at this coffee shop at this time. I'm going to be with my agent, my insurance agent, Allstate, and come by, say hello, and coffee's on me. I thought that was really brilliant fun. Now, here's the great part of all this, is that the thing that I love about Smile Stops, it's getting you out in the street. It's getting you engaged with human beings, and it's fun. It's fun for you. It puts a smile on your face. It doesn't feel like Colin Fisbell's expired. Okay, that's some serious prospect. It's some serious prospect. It's also does get better returns when you get good at it. But this is fun. This is putting your name and face and what you do for a living out into the world, which I think is important. Now, the guests, I just want to remind you, if you want to become a power agent after the webinar today, or at the end, we're going to send you a guide on how to work your farm area, which has Smile Stop ideas in there and the like. Okay, so number 3 is hit the streets. We're going to go to number 4. Before I do, we're a little past the halfway mark. I want to see how you guys are doing. What is your favorite part? So if you guys can write in the Q&A, what have you learned so far today that you think is going to really help you in putting more people into the top of your funnel? I want to get a sense if this is helping you and if you're getting what you need to get out of this. So I know some of you are there's a delay on this, so I want you to start writing. So while there's the delay, I'm going to go to the next thing, which is participate in life, and then I'll start reading out your names and what you say. So when I say participate in life, I mean similar to getting out there, right? Walk the streets. But we're in a people business, and what that means is I don't want you to think about prospecting. I want you to think about building relationships, okay? So this is a bigger, I'm taking more of an area view look here about some of what we just talked about. So first of all, here's the definition of self-promotion, which is really important, is to have people know your name, face, and what you do for a living. Let me see what the responses are. Hang on a second. Nancy, you love the seller success system. Isn't that the bomb? Jose, commitment. Yeah, baby. That's so true. Deneen, walk the streets with a purpose. I love that. I'm glad you picked up on that. Ronald, the Red X, absolutely. By the way, Ronald, the Red X is REDX. Take out that second E, my friend. Catherine, my commitment to your commitment. A lot of people like that. Vern, Smile Stop, seller success system. Love it. Okay, committing to hours in the schedule. Okay, great. You're a good group. This is a great group, Julie. The ideas of Smile Stops are interesting, Claire. Very great. Okay, let me, Julie, you can publish the rest as they come in. Let me go back to, definition, self-promotion, have people know your name, face, and what you do for a living. Know your name, face, and what you do for a living. Let me give you need to not be a secret agent. You need to get out there more. Listen, what we know is true about this market. It is harder to get listings. There are fewer expireds. There are fewer FSBOs, but there still are some. Most agents are not calling them, trust me. So they're there, but there are less. So we've got to get a little bit more aggressive and put ourselves out there, shake the trees. So the definition of self-promotion, have people know your name, face, what you do for a living. Join local businesses and entrepreneur clubs. Join these clubs. There's a whole slew of these clubs that you can join locally and participate in. By the way, I'm going to send that whole list. I'm going to send you the slides to Power Agent. So in the guests, you decide to become Power Agent. This is part of it. We're going to send you all this so you don't have to worry about taking every single note. Places of worship. And let me tell you something. One of the things, I don't want to be tacky. I don't think this is tacky. I really don't. But I think it's totally cool if you had a card magnet, Vistaprint. Card magnet costs you $156 for a pair. Put it on the side of your car. You go to your place of worship, and it's a good place. You should have a card magnet everywhere you go, supermarket, everything. Put it on there. And then it's a magnet. You take it off from the times when you don't want to have it on. Get involved with your community events. Whatever those community, like those, I live in Wading River. We had Duck Pond Day this past weekend. It was packed. Duck Pond Day. You could have had a booth there if you were from the area. Parent clubs in your school system. Get involved. What do they say, ladies? The quickest way to a man's heart is through what? The stomach. Quickest way through a parent's heart? The children. Get involved with your school. Join local area Facebook groups. Meaning, like whatever town that you're working, there's probably a Facebook group for your town. If it's active, participate in it actively. Don't be advertising real estate stuff. That'll tick people off. You want to give. And then once in a while, you put in real estate information. Here's the rule of thumb about social media. You should help 5 to 6 people or comment or contribute. Somebody's looking for a landscaper. One, you give them an idea. Somebody's looking for a handyman. Boom, you give them another. So you help 5 people, and then maybe you'll give one open house information or a flyer about one of your listings. Now, if there isn't an active group, let me tell you what Tracy Palmero did. Tracy is one of our top power agents. She went from 0 to 6 figures her first year in real estate. She's been in the business about 7 years now. She's well over 500 grand in commission. So she's one of our super power agents. But she's a sweetheart. She's a wonderful person, Tracy. She's so relatable. And power agents, new power agents that haven't seen Tracy, we interviewed her last year. You'll see it right there, the date, Tracy, how to go from 0. And what she shared is how she went from 0 to 6. And what she did was use Facebook groups. And what's really brilliant about this is it doesn't cost a lot of money to do it this way. She created 7 Facebook groups for 7 communities that were her farm, and she created a digital farm in Facebook and used that as the platform to communicate and start to get to know her community. Brilliant. Past clients. One of our top power agents, the first power program we ever taught was in 1993 on Long Island, New York. It was with Douglas Elliman. At the time, it was called Prudential Long Island Realty. And so that class of 26 students, they doubled their income in 12 months. One of those students in the original class is Annette Mina. She's one of the top agents. The year she took the program, she had a rough time. She lost her sister, but she said, man, the power program helped stay focused. She became #1 agent in the whole state of New York. She's one of our biggest fans, and I'm her fan. She's such a lovely woman. And the reason why I'm showing you Annette is because Annette, she built her business eventually by referrals, by having referrals. So make sure you're working your referrals as well. I did a training session in February of this year, the Ultimate Lead Generation Playbook for 2023, how to keep your repeat and referral business flowing. So power agents, check out that if you want to go deep on this particular number 4 or 5, whatever tip we're on. Here, what we created that's in that session is a post-bonding program. So let me explain first the post-bonding program. When it's one of our horrible things that we do, most of us, is we're really bad at follow-up when we take care of a buyer or seller. Like when the deal is done, like my son, he's buying, and he's buying it through a power agent. I'm actually upset with this power agent, and he's a top power agent too. I got to call him actually now. I'm thinking about it because this closing is in 2 weeks. So my son, this is his first house. He's 26 years old, buying his first house. He doesn't even know how to balance his checkbook, the poor kid. And so he's like, Dad, what do I do now? I got a closing day, and am I supposed to do something? And it's like, Jesus, power agent's not following up and telling him, here's step 1, step 2, step. So what I did is we have I can't show you now, it's in the power program, but we have this e-guide that you give to buyers, telling them, all right, get ready to move. Here it comes. A change of address card, like it's a little workbook on how to get ready for the closing, and also one for the sellers too. So I sent that to my son. Bing, he's taken care of. But here's a top power agent, and he's not even following up with his, because it's on to the next deal. You can't think that way. You got to build. So when you close a deal, gang, you've got to stay in touch with those people, because they're happy. They just got their house and how excited, or they sold and they're moving on. They'll refer business to you, but not if you're not staying in touch with them. So one of the things we also created is this over here, is the post-closing bonding program for the next year. And I'll just jump to like the 3rd day after the closing, you send them a handwritten thank you note. For day 14, you send them a gift certificate to a local place. 60 days later, you send another gift certificate, or you do a smile stop. You stop by there. So gang, you've got to make sure that you don't set and forget your past clients, right? Okay. So number 4 was participate in life. Number 5 is a mailing campaign. Now I want to say something about mailing campaigns. I'm going to go a little quick on this, because the reason why I love mailing campaigns is because you can catch people when they're thinking about selling if you keep bombarding them with your name, face, and what you do for a living. Did you write that down? Self-promotion, your name, your face, and what you do for a living. Now, but here's a caveat on this number 5. You don't do it if you don't have the money, because the problem with mailings is it costs money. And the reason why it costs money is because it costs time. There's no such thing as one mailing. Please don't do one mailing. To me, that's a waste of money. It's about hitting people at least. It's going to take you at least 5 to 7 mailings to start seeing any kind of response. Now, power agents, when you guys go into the farming in the hub, when you go to farming, you're going to see a plethora of stuff that we have for you. As hundreds, flyers, checklists, e-guides. There's so much. You'll never at a loss of what to mail out. And every one of these power agents, you customize them. Put your contact information. You steal it. We want you to steal our material. Make believe you wrote it, because my team is writing it for you. And another thing, power agents, there is a webinar that I did on how to own your farm in direct mail marketing. So make sure you watch that one as well. Let me show you this. This is Jennifer Hiller. Jennifer Hiller is one of our power agents. And I don't know if you can read it, so I'm going to read it to you. She said, when your hubby says, hey, let's go for a walk, but you're waiting for your seller to call you back so you can present an offer, you go walking fully prepared for the phone to ring. Hello. I love it. Now, the reason why I'm showing you Jennifer, now, some of my power agents who've been around for a while, you know about Jennifer, because what Jennifer did is she used one of the letters in the classroom and sent it to this vacant house that she was trying to get the listing. It turned out that vacant house was an estate. She talked to the daughter, the whole, without getting to the punchline here, that one letter that we wrote for her that she used, got that they have 22, I think it was 22 or 26 listings that she listed. She listed them all. And now she's starting to get offers on them. So when I tell you, gang, mailings work, hitting the streets, having people know your name, face, and what you do for a living, you've got to put your name. You got to. I said it again. I said it before, and I'll say it again. This is a market where you need to shake the trees. You need to work. One of my favorite pieces that we created for you guys is this one here. It's a Zillow postcard. I'm going to read this to you. It's a postcard. The front says, even the CEO of Zillow thinks you should ask a real estate agent what your home is worth. And then the bottom there in red, don't make the mistake of using Zestimates to determine your home's value. I love this postcard. Every realtor should be mailing this out several times a year. Here's the back of the postcard. Let me zoom in on it. In a prominent Market Watch article, Spencer Raskoff, Zillow's former CEO, said, we call it Zestimates and not Z appraisals and not Z price. It's meant to be a starting point. To determine a more accurate opinion of a home's value, you should hire a real estate agent. Zestimates is merely a successful marketing tool to catch people's attention, but your home should not rely on it to determine the home value. Buyers, banks, title companies, etc., they don't use estimates. They don't even use estimates. They use specific data and a formal appraisal to determine your home's value. As a licensed real estate agent of the state, or you put your state in there, I have access to that data. I'm happy to share with you in my neighborhood market report. This is one of the best postcards to send out to people. Because it's so accurate. You've got the CEO, the former CEO of Zillow, saying, don't use estimates. Use a realtor. Use a licensed agent. And it goes on to explain it. So anyway, number 5 is a mailing campaign. Number 6 is public open houses. To me, public open houses are one of the best ways to generate leads right now. And I'm not going to talk about this today, but neighborhood open houses is even better, where you just invite the neighbors. We have a whole plan on how to do neighborhood open houses, because everybody that comes through is a neighbor, is a homeowner, and every one of them is a possible listing appointment. This is an old picture, but I just love the picture. So I just keep using this. Obviously, was at the height of the pandemic. Everybody has the mask on. But I don't have to tell you this. If you look at an open house now, this is what it's like, right? Maybe it's not so much because we're letting people in the house now, but let me tell you, this is what we should be doing. What we should be doing is what we did during the pandemic. You should never do an open house and let the public come in all at once. Nope. You should do this right over here, and you have them do one at a time. One at a time, bringing you through. You want to know why? You see those houses across the street? The houses across the street are looking out the window saying, what the hell is going on at 1010 Hunter Lane? What are they giving away over there? That line is marketing. That line is promoting you. That line is getting every neighbor's eyeballs on you. You see? I love this man. You're going to get more calls, more attention. And if you don't get calls, you know what you do after the open house? You use the dialogue power agents. You call those neighbors saying, hi, the reason why I was calling is we just had an open house for one of your neighbors at 1010 Hana. And the reason why I was calling, we had so many interested buyers. And unfortunately, we don't have enough houses for the buyers. So the reason I was calling to wonder if you have heard of anybody who's thinking about selling. Anyway, you can do a promotion to the neighbors. You send them a flyer saying, hey, I'm doing an open house. Come by. Power agents, all of these visuals you have in the program for you. You can use RedX to get all of the neighbors' addresses, names, phone numbers, mobile numbers. It's in the geo leads of RedX. RedX. Power agents, we did a webinar for you on how to turn one open house into a stream of listings. Remember the iceberg at the beginning of the webinar where I said sometimes I go wide, sometimes I go deep. Today is wide. That session, deep. How to turn one listing into a stream. Okay. Now, open house. Okay, I'm walking away with so many tips. Oh, that was from the open house. Lillian said it's a great webinar. Now, let me share with you what you need to do or learn about doing open houses. You need to learn how to prepare the homeowner because you don't want the homeowner involved. You don't want them there, so you got to know how to do that. You've got to learn how to have proper signage. The signage is what helps bring people in. It's not just posting it online in the internet or advertising or postcards. It's all part of it. But the signage and I'm not talking about those stupid easels with the helium balloons that only last for an hour and then they look very limp. No, it's got to be different signage to bring people in like a Pied Piper. You've got to have frequently asked questions for the day at the open house. People are going to ask you frequently asked questions. You should create a flyer that addresses it. Like, what kind of heat is it? What is the utilities? How far is the synagogue or the church? Like, you should have these frequently asked questions already printed out because you don't want to look unprofessional. God, I don't know. Let me find out for you. Not in this. There's times that it's okay to say that, but not at an open house. Get your loan officer involved to help promote your attendance. And make sure you have great follow-up of text, dialogue, calls, marketing material. Because let me tell you something, gang. Part of the open house is not just the day of the open house, but it is the follow-up to the open house. So here's what we said. We said FSBOs and expireds, cream of the crop, the best of the best. Number 2 is your cold calling. Number 3 is hitting the streets. Get out there and know your neighborhood. Work your farm area. Number 4 is participate in other things. Get into your community. Participate in life. Get out from behind your desk. Belly to belly, face to face, toe to toe with human beings. Mailing campaigns is planting a seed. So when somebody's thinking about it, they're going to reach out to you because they keep seeing you consistently. You got to be consistent with the mailing campaigns. And one of my favorites is the public open house. Now, I'm going to open up to coaching questions, Julie. But before we do, I have a special thing for the guests. And so we're going to talk to the guests for a second. So power agents, we're going to do coaching. Guests, we're going to do some coaching. But for the guests, I want to share with you really what this power program is so you understand. If you want to become a power agent, you click on it. Here is the promise that we have for power agents. We promise you, if you do what I tell you to do and you participate, you will increase your income. No doubt about it. You're going to, wherever you are financially, some of you might have more months at the end of the money, and that's stressful. Money doesn't solve problems, but the lack of money creates more stress and more problems. It's hard to enjoy your life. So money doesn't, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Money doesn't buy happiness, but when you are struggling financially, it's harder to be happy, right? So we're going to remove that for you. You're going to get the support that you need. one of the things that power agents will always tell you that have been around for a while, they feel like they're not alone. You will not be alone. We're going to be here with you to help you get to your next level. You're going to be in a community of successful realtors, the same type of agents who are like you wanting to get to your next level. You're going to learn how to stop wasting money on quick fix items, buying leads. You don't buy leads, man. That's not how you make it in this business. People make money on when you're buying leads, but you're not making the money. So you're going to learn how to stop doing that and how to generate money for yourself without wasting money. You're going to overcome your fear of the telephone. You'll have a breakthrough in that. You will fill your calendar with appointments. You're going to learn how to get your offers accepted, especially in a multiple offer situation. You will get excited about your career again, because the philosophy that we have here is not about closing people, but coaching people. It's not about selling people. It's about serving people. That is the culture here of a power agent, and it's a more fun and exciting business when you take that approach. And did I say, by the way, you will increase your income? Now, so I'm not going to go through each one of these things, but what you're going to do is we're going to email you. I'm going to explain what the program is, but just to remind you, everything that's on that screen, how to do a listing appointment, the training for how to do that, 100 ideas to get listings today. If you're a new agent, how to start your business. If you're an experienced agent, you need to restart it. The best dialogues, a copy of today's webinar. We're going to email as soon as you click on that thing. When you click on that thing, did we put that thing up for them, gang? Did we put that up there? It is good. And it's up there in the top two. When you click on that and you sign up, we're going to email you everything that's on that screen. Now, let me just tell you really quick what the Power Program is. Weekly coaching calls every Monday. Power agents, do you love the coaching calls? Let me know. Monday, it starts at 11 o'clock, and it goes until when everybody's question is answered. We record the calls. We post it. Susie, one of our power agents, she said, I used to feel insecure with listings, but because of Daryl's program, he taught me how to be a great lister. I've got more listings the last 3 months than I did all of last year. That's pretty cool. That's a great testimony. Talent Tuesday, where we interview either another successful power agent like Annette Mina, Marty Sorrentino. They share their ideas. We put it into a guide. We also have brainstorming, where the power agents bring to the session what they're doing, right? And it's like show and tell. I love this. The show and tell is one of my favorite parts of the program. And then we take it, we put it into a guide with clickable websites wherever it's appropriate. I mean, this is just one of the calls. One call came with 62 ideas. To me, the brainstorming sessions are worth the entire program. There's over 70 on-demand videos, like you saw me talk about earlier, about how to do the listing appointment, how to prospect with FSBOs, expires, the actual role-playing and the dialogue. And then power agents get the slides, and they don't get a PDF. They actually get the PowerPoint slides. Like they have the access to these slides that I just did today. Marty Sorrentino, he was a brand new agent. I remember when he first took the program, he was struggling. Now he does 15 million. He has 2 offices in 2 different states. He's killing it. And he said the power program, or he said, Daryl saved my financial life. He's a very good friend now, Marty. You have access to over 700 marketing materials, scripts, techniques, checklists. Kristen from Century 21, she said, I sent out letters from the classroom. I've generated more business from it. We have so many power agents that are getting listings just from our mailing pieces. This is what the portal looks like. When you go to the classroom, that's all of the channels. And when let's say you need help with farming and self-promotion, then you have all of this marketing material for farming and self-promotion. We have a similar technology of Google, where if you type in the word FSBO in the search, everything FSBO related will pop up for you, whether it's a training or a checklist or a dialogue. Guess, let me ask you a question. If you generated 1 extra sale because of the power program each month, what would that be worth? Like, I don't know, if let's say your commission was $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, let's go with $3,000 low. So if it was $397, that would be really a good investment. You're almost making 100 times your money. Well, we don't charge that. We could. $297, well, we could charge that based on what the other guys are charging, but we don't charge that either. That would be a no-brainer, right? $197. So I'm going to tell you that it's not $197. It's actually only $47 for the entire month, and there's no contract. So If you want to become a power agent, you can cancel anytime. You will have complete access to the program. There's no special tiers. There's no like you get some of it at 47. If you want more, you've got to do one night. No. It is 47 complete for everything. Plus, you're going to get those bonuses and the slots. Now, we are going to be raising the price this year, but when you lock in at 47, you're that for life, and which would be good for you. All right. So power agents, you want to pay it forward and share any comments, please do. We're going to go to the questions right now, Julie. So if you get ready to read the questions, and then I'll answer them. The one thing I want to address before we get to Julie's questions, I want to address this one common concern is like, I've signed up for things before and I felt scammed, or it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Here's what I can tell you. If you right now, before you sign up, if you need to do this, I want you to Google Daryl Davis Seminars complaints, and I want you to see what shows up. And what will show is no complaints. What if I also want you to just Google our company name. And if you Google our company name and you look at the reviews, you'll see current active reviews just from last week. As a matter of fact, of course, I did that. This is not most current. I did this a few weeks ago, and you will find a perfect 5-star. And here's why that's important is because what you and I both know about Google, you can't edit those. You can't delete the negative ones. Like, businesses have no control over Google reviews. So if somebody's pissed, they're going to say it there. If somebody's happy, they're going to say it there. I want you to go to Google our company, and I want you to sort it by reviews, sorted by the worst complaint, and get to the worst complaint and see if you can trust us. The one last thing I will say too is how hard is it to cancel? Because, right, we've been there as well sometimes where it makes it impossible. It's really easy. So what happens is what you're seeing on the screen now is a pop of our chat on our website. If you just click on that chat and you say, hey, I'm a power agent, I want to cancel, probably Gail or Shelly will respond to that. They'll jump right in less than 2 minutes, and they'll tell you how to cancel. They may want to ask you a question or something, but listen, $47 is not going to make or break my mortgage payment or our company salary. So if you're not happy, we're not going to keep you. And that's why, by the way, that's why you will not find one negative complaint about my company, because you don't want to be a power agent. That's fine. That's fine. That's your choice. We only need what we need from the people who are committed to wanting to be a power agent. That's it. All right. So, and one last thing is reminding you, it's a lifetime special pricing for you. When we do raise the price, it won't be raised on you, but you have to do it today. All right, Julie, do you have those questions?
I do. I have a lot of questions. It is a very engaged bunch. And back to what you just said, we work hard to earn your business every month, right? So we want you to stay, but we work very hard to make sure you're happy. And our power agents will tell you that.
Yep.
All right, let's dive into the question. Oh, Kim says this coaching is the best. I love it. Thanks, Kim. Do you have Salima? I hope I'm not messing that up. Do you have marketing materials in Spanish?
Oh, yes, we do. By the way, if any power agent, I'm going to give permission to do some branding here, Julie. First of all, let me hit escape here. And let me do this here. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Let me go like this. I'm going to give power agents permission to do something, which is power agents, if you want to comment to the non-power agents because you want to pay it forward and you want to give them your cell number, you can put that in your comment. I'll tell you why. Because I've been on these webinars myself too, looking, and I think even the cynics, now maybe because I'm a New Yorker, I'm so cynical, I'd be like, is that a real person who's actually saying that they love Daryl and they love is that a real person? Like, is that a robot, an AI? So power agents, if you want to put your phone number with your comment, telling people, go ahead, call me. I'm a real person. This is the bomb. You should, the water is fine. Jump in. Power agents, I'll let you do that. Okay. Now, the question is there Spanish? Yes. So when you go to the Power Program, you go to Classroom, you will see, so I'm clicking on, this is happening live, so forgive me if it's a little slow because I know a lot of people are hitting it right now. I'll go to the first tab, buyers. So let's say you need some stuff for buyers and you want to show them a brochure about, owning a home. So we have an English version and a Spanish version. And so all you have to do if you want the Spanish, you just click on that Spanish and then it downloads it. I don't know if you can see it in my screen, the bottom left hand, it's downloading. It's taking a little while because we use really high graphics. And so the files are kind of big. And so there is the Spanish version of the, owning a home and something you give to a buyer. And there you go. By the way, just to show you this. Now, I don't speak Spanish or write Spanish, so I have no idea what this says right now. But so what I want to say is, let's say you don't like this bullet here and you want to delete it. Watch what happens. Bing, I just deleted. Now, that kind of messed up the spacing here. So I can just move that down. And then if I want to write something else here, I can. So the point that I'm trying to make is if I wanted to even delete one single word, haga, I don't know what that is. And I just delete that and I put something else, whatever would go there. So what I'm just illustrating is just how easy it is to customize our stuff. Okay, next question, Julie.
Perfect. And just to go back to that too, Maria says, does this do the realty branding? We've had that question a couple times. You can change anything. These are downloaded in either PowerPoint or Word. So you can change pretty much anything. The colors, the fonts, the words. So
absolutely
customizable.
Julie, I want to just read. Hey D says, for everyone who's on the fence, I've tried a lot of other coaches. Daryl Davis, Power Agent, is a gift from heaven. Oh man, that's really good. I wish I had found him years ago. I'm so glad that I joined. Man, thank you so much. Where is it? Oh, some of these are getting cleared. Don't clear them because I just lost my spot now.
Sorry.
Where is it? I guess you just cleared his because he also put his phone number in his. Yes. So thanks for don't help me clear that. Thank you. Follow. See how? Okay. Claire says, "I love Daryl. I've attended his live seminars in both New York and New Mexico, and he's truly the best in the business." Thank you, Claire. I'm joining today and recommitting to being a bona fide power agent. Great, Claire. That is so awesome. Now, wait a second. I think we got a little bit of a complaint here, and I am going to read this as well. Am I right? Nicodinus, I signed up for a power agent 4 or 5 months ago. No one really followed up with me to see how I was doing or how to get the best use of the materials. Okay. All right. So wait a second. So this, I will tell you, I'm glad I read that. So let's be honest about something here. How do you say his name, Julie? Nicodunes? Okay. I'm just going to publish it. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to just call you Nick. Nick, I'm sorry that you felt that way. What I'd like you to do is you can reach out to my office, go over here, click on this, and I want you to write the comment that you just wrote there, and somebody will get back to you within 2 minutes. So if you want to wait till the webinar is over and do it, that's fine. But here's what I'm going to tell you, Nick. We don't really follow up with all of our power agents. We have thousands of them, and I don't have the staff to do periodic calls at $47 a month. Okay. So honestly, we don't do that. We respond to you though, Nick. Anytime a power agent clicks on this thing over here and they say, I need help. Power agents, tell me if I'm right about this. You need help? You tell us you need help. We're there. But we don't initiate. Not at $47. We're not going to call you periodically and say, how are you doing? Are you using it? We don't do. We're dealing with adults over here. This is like Netflix. Netflix doesn't call me and say, are you watching my movies? What they say is, hey, here's a menu of movies. You're paying a low amount to have access to it whenever you need it. This is the Netflix of real estate coaching. When you need help on prospecting, we're here. You come to the coaching call Monday, you ask me a question. I stay on there for 3 hours, busting my butt to help power agents. But you got to come to the call. You got to come to the training on Wednesday. You go to the website. There is hundreds of stuff for you to access. But at 47, you've got to participate, you see. And we will be a reflection of your commitment. I got some power agents like Rachel. I know some power agents, their personal name. Why? Because where's Rachel? I just saw her come up over here. Did you publish Rachel already? She
Yep.
just said something. Yeah, Rachel, Rachel's a power. We got thousands. I know Rachel. You want to know why? Because Rachel's on the coaching calls on Monday. She's asking questions. She's in the Facebook group. She's posting. She's asking for help. She is sucking every amount of that value out of this program. She's getting like $1,000 a month of value because she's using it. Good for her. Anyway, Nick, we're here for you, man. Just reach out to us. What's
We're
the
also
next
very
question?
proactive. We've got Monday motivation emails. We've got Tuesday newsletters, which, I mean, these are all training emails. We've got Saturday strategies. We've got, so every 4 days a week. We're
Yeah, and it's not like
proactively
we don't that's right, Julie. It's not like we don't reach out to you because we're sending these emails, give you like one of the things we do every week is of the hundreds of stuff we have here, my team will say, what's one item? Wait, I got to show you something else. What's one item that power agents can use? And let's send it to them and spoon feed it to them in email. But let me show you this. Watch this. Calendar. How do you? I always can't spell calendar. Calendar. Okay, I just messed that up. Calendar. Here we go. All right. So watch this. Here's another thing we do every week, Nick. Calendar. So here is June's calendar. We do this every month for you. And we give it to you. It says, all right, if you want just one idea every day on how to improve your business, what can you do June 1st? It's National Home Ownership Month. Celebrate the value of home ownership. Bring families into communities. Call any buyer you've helped become a homeowner in the last year and check in with them. Bing. We just gave you one tip. On June 1st, National Home Ownership Month for June. Call your buyers that you put into a house. Say how they're doing. We do this every month. Wait, there's more. Let me go to another calendar because this is my favorite. We then actually break it down weekly. We have a weekly calendar for you. Here's what you should do on Monday. Here's what you should do on Tuesday. Here's what you should do on Wednesday. And then here's create your own little to-do list. We write this for you every week. My team is busting their butt for power agents. This is a great program. It's great when you use it. All right. Next question, Jules.
Daryl, will you do me a favor, though? Go back up to the top of the classroom and show agents how they can connect their calendar to our calendar so they never miss a session.
Yep. And let's go to some coaching questions too.
Yeah,
Listen, I will tell you one other thing. I'll show you this one thing here too. Listen, this program is not for everybody. I'll tell you this. So I understand that some people, you choose not, it's fine. One of the things we've learned in our training business, we can only help people who want help. We can't, it's kind of like a doctor. Doctor can tell you, here's how to fix your health, but it's up to the individual to use it or listen to the doctor. I've learned that there's some people we can't help. So we want to help the people who are committed. So this is not for everybody, this program, I'll tell you. All right, subscribe to this. When you subscribe to the calendar, everything, whatever training we have, it will put it into your calendar for you. If you use Google Calendar or Apple Calendar. And so that way you'll never miss a coaching call. You'll never miss a webinar. It's all there for you. Populate your calendar. Okay, let's go to do we have any listing and selling questions, Julie? I don't, maybe there's just power program questions.
Well, Haiti does say, how do you use RedX for cold calling?
Vicky's question, she said, how to get phone numbers. That's the top of our questions here. Okay, let's start with Heather's question. How do I identify people who are thinking about selling? Heather, that's a great question. So it depends on what context you're asking. How do I identify people who are thinking about selling? When you're just out in the street, Heather, and you're just pressing the flesh and you're meeting people, you just ask them, have you ever thought about how long have you lived in the neighborhood? What do you like best about the neighborhood? Where do you guys shop? You shop? Oh, yeah, I shop there too. Yeah, I always like to know what people love about our community as a professional real estate agent in this community. I feel like it's my job to know the community and what they like about it. So thanks for sharing that with me. By the way, have you folks ever thought about moving? Let me ask you, if you were ever going to move, where would you move to? And Heather, those two questions right there as an afterthought question is a really great way to find out and identify if somebody's thinking about selling. Vicky Welder, how to get phone numbers. Vicky, I talked about it earlier, and maybe you weren't on the call at that time. The best way to get phone numbers, whether it's FSBOs expireds or just the farm area, is using RedX, REDX. Now, Vicky, if you're a power agent, I want to show you something because you get a discount. So let me show Vicky's, when I go to dashboard and then I go to classroom. So here's the dashboard. It's the main page for power agents. And then when I go to classroom where the magic is, if I go to vendors, what you're going to see here, Vicky, is the vendors that we negotiated special deals for power agents. And you will see RedX there. Now, RedX, they will tell you that no other speaker or trainer or association has the deal we cut for power agents. I was one of their first affiliates. And what the deal is power agents don't pay the setup fee, which is $150. And they don't get 1 day or 2 day or 1 week or 2 week trial. They get a 30-day trial. You don't pay anything for 30 days. And you have complete access to the entire program. So that's what you get, Vicky, as a power agent. So that way you can see if it's going to help you. Okay. I hope that helped you, Vicky. Julie, what was your other question?
How to use RedX.
Yeah. Is that from Haiti? Okay. How to use RedX for cold calling. So Haiti, okay. When you set up your RedX account, what happens is what RedX is basically, they find FSBOs, they find expireds, they find the phone numbers, and they put it into like a CRM looking thing where you then can start making your calls. You can create notes. You can actually do mailings all from RedX. It's not a CRM, but it sure looks and smells and operates like a CRM, but it's only specific for FSBOs, expireds, houses for rent, pre-foreclosures, and GeoLeads. Now, what GeoLeads is farming. So if you needed 300 addresses in a community, you can download those 300 addresses, phone numbers, and etc. into RedX, and you can print them out. You can download it into your other CRM. So, Haiti, what you could do if you wanted to kick the tires first and get familiar with it, if you go to YouTube and type in RedX, let me see if I can do that now. YouTube, this is what I recommend you do with any software, is you go there and then you search RedX, and then what you will see is a RedX real estate prospecting system. And then I'm clicking on there too. Come on, it's thinking about it. Maybe. Okay. And then I'm going to mute this. And then you're going to see all of these are podcasts, but you're going to see other blogs and how to use RedX, and you'll get here it is, RedX training. So when you look at the RedX training, it'll show you behind the scenes some of how to use RedX. Wow, it seems like Mike Ferry's there a lot, huh? Maybe don't go there.
Well, we have RedX training in our webinars on demand as well. They've done, in fact, just recently we had a RedX training.
If you're a power agent, if you're a power agent, so if you're not a power agent, that's what you can do to kick the tires. If you're a power agent, we have RedX training, and let me see if I just find it this way pretty quick. And there you go. I just did that search function where I said, find me everything RedX, and you'll see a bunch of training there as well. Okay. Next question, Julie.
Perfect. Since you were talking about CRMs, Paula asks, do you have a CRM that you can recommend where I can put my MailChimp leads?
Yes, Paola. If you're a power agent, we recommend the Power Builder. So we have a CRM, and that CRM is an added charge. And the only reason, I'm sorry, you know what? Let me clarify something I said. I said that there's no other additional charges. $47 is everything. There's no upsell or anything else to buy. There's no tiers. I'm going to correct that a little bit. There's two things that's a separate charge that's not part of the Power program. One is the CRM, and number two is RedX. RedX is a separate company. We don't have any ownership in that. So if you want RedX, you don't need RedX, but if you want it, they're separate. We just cut you a discount. The second is our CRM, because not every power agent needs a CRM. They have their own CRM. So we carve that out from the membership. If you don't have a CRM, we have Power Builder. It's in the portal. You can look at that. There's some other CRMs out there. If you're not a power agent and you don't want to use Power Builder because you're not a power agent, it's only for Power Builder is only for power agents. then there's other ones out there like Wise Agent or Follow Up Boss or Top Producer. So did that answer the question?
I think it did. Yes.
All right.
Virginia just
And
signed up. She's very excited.
congratulations,
Sean
Virginia.
Janet just signed up. It's a busy group.
Who else signed up? Who else?
Janet, Sean. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, listen, if you just sign up, tell us in the chat there. Let us know so we can do a shout out for you.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Kim,
what else?
Canva. Yes, Kim, you can. We don't connect with Canva, but you can certainly use Canva.
Yeah, so Kimberly, what you could do is you can take any of our stuff and you can upload it or import it, I believe, into Canva if you want. But honestly, you don't need to use Canva with our stuff because it's already designed for you. And the software that you're not learning a new software, we use PowerPoint or Word, Microsoft Word. And I don't know of any computer that doesn't have that. And so you've already got this over there. So I think it's redundant to use Canva, but you could. Next question.
Perfect. Where do I find the scripts in the classroom?
There's a couple of ways to do that. One is you can just you can go to so if I go to classroom, so let me explain this concept. When you are, oh, wait a second. I have to read Cedric Smith. Cedric Smith, I've been in business for 15 years. I did 34 deals, 15K last year. I just joined. I wish I had joined years ago. I already started using his techniques. I took 2 listings from it, and Cedric put his phone number there. I just published it. So, gang, call Cedric if you don't believe that this is true. This is the place to be. This is where successful agents come to meet, is being a power agent. Power agent's a registered trademark. My company owns that in the world. We own it in every country, including the U.S. Only power agents who are power agents can call themselves power agents. And we actually have branding and marketing material in there for you, because when you go into a listing appointment and you watch this, well, I'm going to do a little teaching over here. If you go into a listing appointment and you say this to a homeowner, Mr. and Mrs. Hanahana, if you had a choice of hiring just a regular accountant or a CPA, and it didn't cost you any difference, like you spent the same money, which would you hire, a regular accountant or a CPA? And they'd say a CPA. Yeah, because the CPA is a cut above the rest. Well, that's what a power agent is. A power agent is a CPA of real estate. Why? Because less than 1% of all agents in the country are actually power agents. It's an ongoing process, that a subscription that we have to stay sharp and skilled at what we do to help people like you get your house sold for the highest possible money. So, another way of looking at it is you have had a choice to fly from New York to California. You could fly first class or coach. And if it didn't cost you any more money, the ticket was the same exact price, which would you fly? First class, of course you would. Well, when you hire me, you're flying first class because I'm a power agent. See, anyway, so that's how you use that to distinguish yourself on a listing appointment. Now, so the scripts was the question. There's 2 ways to get to the script. If I click on prospecting, and it's alphabetical. I'm looking for prospecting. There it is, P, prospecting. Well, if I click in there, I will find the dialogue, and it's alphabetical there too. Now, we don't use the word script. We use dialogue, and there's a reason why. It's because we don't think you should be so scripted, right? And so, but here's the dialogue that we have. There it all is. Now, there is another way to find dialogue. And now, we did still tag our dialogue scripts because new power agents are still thinking scripts. So we actually tag things, scripts and dialogue. And there it is. Now, some of the 5 pages include actual training as well. So it's not just the script itself, but it's video or training that goes with it. So, okay.
In fact, you just did a dialogue, and online or on the line, in the line dialogue a few minutes ago, and that is in there as well. So that's awesome. Erica's new to this. She says, how do I sign up and how much is it?
Yeah, so welcome to the party. So if you click, you should see somewhere on your screen right now a floating thing, and it says full access, join now, and it might be at the top by the chat or something. If you click on that, it'll bring you to the landing page where you can sign up. It's only $47, and there's no long-term contract, so it's month to month. I'll tell you this: if you're new to this and you're not sure if this is going to be good or not, just think of it this way: for $47, we're going to email you immediately. It's already in the hopper, as you would say. Is that the right term that I mean to say? You're going where is it? You're gonna let me show it. Where is that? Here it is. We're going to email you all of this immediately, which is how to do a listing appointment, dialogue, how to do an open house, a copy of this webinar, a copy of my slides. So that's well worth the $47. But then you'll, like the Wizard of Oz, you'll go into the Emerald Kingdom and you will see so much more. All right, next question, Julie.
Salima says she's tried to sign up, but it's giving her an error code. Just use that chat button, Salima, and our team members are there to help you. Don't stress. We'll help you.
All right. So I don't know why you'd be getting an error code. Another way to do it, if you see, you can chat with our company, but try this first. It'll be quicker. You'll see at the bottom there, that website, trythepowerprogram.com. So just type that into your web browser, and I'll show you what I want you to do. Actually, if I open up a new tab, so you have to open up a new tab, otherwise you will get away from this webinar. If I type in, try the, you have to make sure, try the power, you can spell, hopefully better than me. And when you click on, and when you hit that, trythepowerprogram.com, it should bring you to this page here. And you're good to go. And then become a power agent, click on that, and you'll start filling out the form. Okay. All right. Next question, Julie.
What time are the coaching calls?
Coaching calls start at Monday, 11 o'clock Eastern time. And as I said, they go for the commitment that we have in my company is the coaching call ends when everybody's taken care of. So that could be 2 hours, that could be 3 hours. So it's a long call.
Mike just said, so true. I was the last question this Monday, and Daryl helped me a ton at 1:30 after the call started at 11. It was a good
Thank you,
question,
Mike. And Mike, not only that, Mike, but what time did I once in a blue moon, based on a flight that I have or appointment, I may say, hey, gang, I have a hard stop today. I can't go indefinitely. So, Mike, what was my hard stop this Monday? I think it was 1 o'clock. And so I was 30 minutes late from my other appointment because I didn't want to leave Mike and the rest of the power agents hanging. So next question, Julie.
I love it. Janice has an interesting question. Does it matter if you're working from home to build a successful business?
Hey, Janice. So, Janice, you can build a successful business from home, but you have to decide the type of person you are. Some agents feed off of the energy of other agents. So it's healthy to be in an office to get that energy. It also helps to have that sense of work. You know, you're going to work. Drawback working from home is the business is always there. It's easy to train the brain. I'll get to that later. Let me go do the laundry first. Let me put a load in. I'm a little hungry. Let me get something to eat. So it's easy to take an hour's worth of work and it'll take 3 hours to get it done, right? So you've got to balance that, Janice. That's for you. What do you think do you need? Now, I will tell you, Janice, if you're a power agent, you know, with all the training that we have, and like I said, the training is like Facebook. I'm sorry, come scam. Netflix. You don't have to be on every one, but we're here for you on Monday. We usually have training on Tuesday. We're here on Wednesday. Thursday, we have every Thursday. Gail does a training at 11 o'clock to give you a tour of the Power Program website. On showing you little gems behind the scenes. Friday is our day of rest. So so Janice, you may want to say, you know, come in. I mean, we're not resting, we're working, but we don't have any on the schedule for you. So Janice, if you want to work from home, but use the Power Program to give you that little camaraderie, that not feeling alone. Okay, plug into us every day. All right. Next question.
On that note, I love what Dana just said, which kind of goes back to that. There is such a community here. It's like an office. You know, Dana says, another positive, the power agents truly help each other and share ideas of what worked, what doesn't work. We broke down into mini power groups after the next level event. We meet regularly. under the site remotely. It's a very special gang. So absolutely. Thank you, Dana, for sharing that.
Awesome.
Claire says the onboarding part of the program is awesome and guides you through everything. You're absolutely right.
Thank you, Claire. And by the way, Claire, that's an acknowledgement to Sarah and especially Julie. That was their project. And I don't know if it would have happened without them. They've done a fabulous job. And Danielle has improved on it and is still working to improve it. We have some things that we're going to be rolling out that Danielle is working on. So.
Absolutely. Paula says, thank you. I'm signing up. Fantastic.
Congratulations.
Elizabeth says, I'm a power agent. I look forward to Wednesday webinars. Daryl is the best.
Awesome. Now, Quinn, this is good, Quinn, over here. Jeez. All right, Quinn's got a couple of comments. She said, Quinn said, I paid $1,000 or more for another coaching program, and this is way better. I'm locked in for a year, but I wish I had found Daryl first. Oh man, Quinn, you're locked in on that coaching for a year. I will tell you, that's that sucks. There's some any company that wants to lock you in, not just on coaching, but anything like social media advertising or blah blah blah. You got to buy ads, pay for leads. They want to lock you in. You know what they're telling you? They're telling you, we don't believe in our product and we know you're going to be pissed in the first 30 days. So we got to close you for at least 3 months or a year. So that way we don't. And here's the problem. If you're locked in, what commitment do they have to give you their best? Think about that. You're locked in for a year. If I'm a little off or I don't give or I miss a call or something. See, this is what Julie said earlier to some of you. We don't do that. Every month, we got to earn your business. We're month to month. If there's any month that you don't like us, you don't want to be with us, well, we don't want to hold you in. Not for 47. We'll let you go. You know, this life is short. We don't need people upset. I got other crap to do. I don't need to worry about people upset me because I'm trying to keep $47. Now, Quinn also,
even at the event, we had a lot of agents that were locked in to 40,000 or whatever. So that should be a relationship red flag. If you have to sign up for a year,
if you got to sign up for a year, that's a red flag. We don't hire vendors in my company that ask me to pay money up front. I'd say the same thing. If you're good, then I don't need to pay you up front. Well, we don't work that way. Well, I'm good. Then you ain't working with us. Quinn also said, I paid $1,300 for another coaching company. I won't mention their name, but it sounds like Tom Ferry. And this is the night and day in terms of value. I am locked into a year, but I wish I had found out. Okay, there's the 40. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. So he gave the phone number. I didn't know that was the company that locked you in. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know. He's got a good, Tom's got value, so I'm sorry. What I'm going to say, Quinn, what you should do, though, because Tom's a good guy and he's got a good company, you should call over there and see if you can switch your coach. If you're not happy, ask for $1,300 a month. They should give you another coach if you're not happy, okay? So make that call, please. All right.
Erica says, wow, 47, that's great. I'm going to sign up. She's the one that asked how much earlier. So welcome to the family, Erica.
All right, Erica.
Claire said, just completed my enrollment. I'm now officially a power agent.
Woo, baby. Now, Maureen, let me show you about what else did she say? Finish reading, and I'm going to show Maureen something.
Perfect.
Finish reading more. Go ahead.
Disnarda said, I'm Rocio and Disnarda.
Yeah, I'll finish it for you. Maureen said, Daryl, is that the one I've already? No, did we miss it? I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm confused.
Did we publish it already?
Yeah, we did. We read it all. She left.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. So here, let me show you how to. I forgot what I was going to say now. So she just joined.
Erica just joined.
Here's one way to show her. Hang on. So listen, when you become a power agent, I want you. There's two things. First of all, we're gonna give you step by step. So maybe just like you can even ignore what I'm telling you because we're gonna tell you this anyway. But where it says power agent purpose, when you go to power agent purpose, it tells you what a power agent is. It tells you about the logo and the design. And here, watch this certificate. If you download the certificate, it's going to fill in your name for you. So that's pretty cool. There's a code of ethics that power agents have. And the first article of our code is about integrity, and it explains why that is our first article. This is our Power Agents of the Month. We do two every month. And when they become a power agent of the month, they get actually a one-on-one coaching call with me. And here's where you can download the logos so you can start branding yourself as a power agent. And I will tell you really quick what the logo represents. It represents a house. And you'll see there's a P and an A in there, so power agent. That circle around the house is meaning power agents encompass the whole transaction, buying and selling. We take care of you. We're committed to serving you. And there's also a little nod to Star Trek, because I'm a Star Trek fan, about living from the future of what's possible in your career. And so that's all the different meanings of being a power agent. The last thing is there's a signature in there. It says sample email signature. So if like when you, I'll show you my email signature so you get the concept. When I send out emails to people, when I send an email out to somebody, it looks like this. And let me just open up my signature. And you'll see I've got my photo, my contact information. By the way, here's an extra tip too. Make sure that your stuff is clickable. Like, don't use an image or a photo, because if people are on their phone, they can't click on the phone number to call. They can't click on the website. But here I have my signature is because it's Daryl Davis CSP. And it says what a CSP is. It's somebody that has a designation that only 2% of all speakers in the whole world have this designation. So it brands me as an expert in the speaking field. So the same concept is you would take this signature, you put your name, Daryl Davis, power agent, and make sure you put that R, that registered trademark that's telling people you can't use this. Only I can use it. A power agent is a member of an exclusive program of dedicated professionals, less than 1% across North America, committed to helping buyers and sellers get to their next level in life. So put that in your email signature. It's a brand. It's great for you. Okay, next question, Julie.
Fantastic. Frank says, can I ask you questions or role play on the coaching call?
Yes. On the Monday coaching call, I can talk to you. So you can take yourself off mute. Everybody's muted. People are listening. Now we get about 300 people on the call every Monday, but a lot of people, they like to listen. And so you raise your hand. It's on Zoom. I'll call out your name. You'll get called on. Everybody's taken care of. And you'll ask your question. We'll role play. I'll coach you. We record it so you can listen to it later. So if I do any role play, I call FISBO expired, and let's say you want to be a nasty FISBO, give me your best shot. I'll role play it. You'll hear it, record it, and you get to listen to it later. Some people, they listen to the coaching calls during their week. They play it in their car. It's just a plethora of training. You know, you are going to make more money. You're going to have less stress and more fun being a power agent. I'll tell you that right now. Next question, Julie.
And you can ask your question in advance, especially if the time, I don't even know if we covered the time. It's 11 Eastern. But if that's not working for you, or you know you're going to, we kind of do it's like a hop on, hop off bus. Like if you have to jump in, get your question answered, jump out. Like you don't have to stay for the 3 hours. But a lot of agents do. But you can ask your question in advance by going to the coaching call tab of the site. Desnardo just signed up. Awesome sauce.
Congratulations.
I love it. Maureen says, Daryl is the best. I wouldn't be nearly successful without his program. He always has our back and won't tolerate less than stellar vendors. I had a problem with a printer and he made it right. Awesome, Maureen. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maureen. Thank you very much for that.
Daryl, do you have a listing presentation? That's actually part of the bonuses you get today.
Yeah, so one of the bonuses you'll get when you sign up is this. It is a PowerPoint slide deck on how to do a listing appointment that you customize it. And then I recorded a 1-hour call on how to deliver each one of those pages. So yeah, you're totally taken care of on that. Plus, we have other training on how to do a listing appointment as well. Okay.
Perfect. One of the things for those of you that are signing up today and other power agents too is the directory. If you can showcase that for just a second, we are seeing some referrals go back and forth. So
yeah, listen, the directory is the bomb. So let me show you the directory. We're seeing about 5 to 7 deals. So how many of you like to get referral business? That's like a gift, right? So if you go to directory, and what you'll do is you'll see this teal button says update my directory file. So when you click on that, it'll bring you to I'll show you what it looks like. I'm logged in as Sarah from my office, and this is where you update your profile. Now, if you want to opt out of the directory, I have no idea why you'd want to do that. But if you look here, here's all these power agents. And let's say I need a power agent. I'm just going to pick, New York, because that's where I'm from. And so I'll type in New York, and there's a bunch of power agents that are there. That now, let's say I want to, Christina, she moved recently to Boca. So that's why she popped up still. But she has her license still in New York as well. So there is there's her bio. There is her contact information. There's her websites. And like I said, we're seeing about 5 to 7 referrals a month. Now, we don't charge referral fees. So my company takes nothing. This is just between you and the agent. And it's like free money, man. So I will tell you, we're planning on launching this year the directory to the general public and start telling the general public, you need to hire a power agent. Here's why. And we're adding a map feature to the directory. So you can look on a map and find all the power agents around the city. And that's something we'll be launching soon. So, yep.
I got to say,
Erica said yes to referrals, Erica. Well, Erica, make sure your profile looks good. Because there's some power agents. I mean, I love power agents, but when I see something like this, like Hadar, not have a photo, or this, Hadar, and I know Hadar, that's like a shame, man. So shame on Hadar. Well, it seems like a lot of New Yorkers here have. Now, there's more New Yorkers. That's one of the drawbacks I will say about this. We have to fix it, is that you can also do just the initials New York, and you'll get a different result as well. And now you'll see it says, instead of 1 of 2, it says 1 of 24 pages. So that's something we have to fix in the 2.0 version of our directory. So
put your photo
all right.
in there.
Yeah, get your photo in there is my point. Next question, Julie.
I love it. How do we find the interview you did with Tracy?
So if you go to
The
Classroom,
friend, buddies.
yeah, the best way to find stuff, because there's a lot in here. So the best way to do it is you can either be super lazy and just ask us. Click on that chat, which I just gave my whole team a heart attack. So I prefer you not do that. But if you do that, my people will respond. They will help you. But do this first. Tracy. Let me type in Tracy's name. And bada bing, what will pop up is Tracy's interview. And there seems to be a second Tracy that we interviewed. And there you go. If let's say you need help with farming, or let's say you want some marketing letters. So let's type in the word letter and let's see what shows up. And when we do letter, we will find a lot of letters, 9 pages of letters. Let's say you wanted to find social media post. So we'll type in the word social media and you will find a whole bunch of social media. So 20 pages of social media posts. So the best thing to do now, let me show you, because I am not blowing smoke saying there's over 700, because we actually counted it for a project that we were working on with another vendor. And so we needed to know how many pieces we had. At the time, we counted 650. So I'm saying conservatively 700 because I know we've added 50 since then. But what the heck was my point? Oh, so because there's so much, there's this little thing called favorite. Under every item, you will see it says favorite. And what that means is, let me just look, this Love Abides. So if I just click on that favorite for Love Abides, I'm going to show you something. If I go to Classroom and I'm logged in on my profile and I'm Sarah, I'm logged in as Sarah, and I go to this tab that says favorites, everything that I've clicked on that star that's a favorite of mine, it will go into this separate folder. And so of all the 700 pieces, you'll see right there, there's the Love Abides I just clicked as a favorite. Now, when you use this, it is not alphabetical. It's sorted based on the last thing you clicked on is at the bottom of the page. So that means this one here was the first one I ever clicked on. So that's just a little user tip for you. Now, these user tips are also done on Thursday with Gail. Gail is our director of Power Agent Experience. She's like the union foreman at a factory representing power agents. If we ever are going to do something and she thinks you won't like it, she stops the meeting and says, no, that's not what power agents want. They would want this. So we couldn't run this company without Gail. And there it is. She's every Thursday. You click on that. Gail will give you some of the tips, kind of what I'm doing right now. Okay. Let's go to the next question.
And just another tip, if you go back up to the classroom, if you hit the search bar for whatever the month ahead is, you can get anything that's related to that. So in other words, if you went to the classroom, you put July in, everything that's related to July.
Let's do July because it's June. Well, June already started. So if you wanted to get some ideas and some marketing to do in the month of July, you just type in the month July and you will find social media, you will find smile stops, you will find 4th of July stuff, you will find a newsletter for July that you can send out to your farm area. Actually, I don't see it there. I guess we didn't write the July newsletter yet. Is that what I'm thinking, Jules? No, there it is. Newsletter July. Good. I would have gotten concerned because we should have that in advance. So why did I even think anything less? Okay, so there you go. There's everything. Saluma signed up. Yay, gotta go. Thank you. Love your energy. Thank you so much. Matthew, how do I find out when you do an in-person live presentation, your dates and locations? Matthew, usually I will tell you, I've been very selective in my schedule. So right now, the only thing that I've been focusing on, because we're launching a couple of new programs for power agents as well. But I will tell you that when I do have an event, I do put a notice out to the power agents so they know if I'm in their area, they can come visit. So to be announced. Okay.
That's right. To contact boards and associations and have them invite Daryl in. So.
Absolutely. All right, good.
All right. I think we have come to the end of our questions. Where the slides, but I think you covered that earlier.
All right. Well, listen, here's what I'm going to tell you. We have gone a little over. I hope this was valuable for everybody. What I'm going to suggest that you do is we're going to be ending this webinar right now. So click on that little button, that floating thing, to lock in that 47 and try it for a month, see what you think. And then if not, then just don't renew the following month. But at least this way you're getting the special price. We're going to email you everything. We'll email you this webinar, and we'll work at helping you get to your next level. If you want to make more money, have less stress, get your deals put together, be in control of your career, break through your fear of the telephone, this is the place to be. So thanks for spending time with us. I hope we made a difference with you. And for everybody that's on the call, remember that everything evolves around real estate. When you think about it, Congress sits in a building, that's real estate. Congress, White House is on real estate. Unfortunately, there are countries that will fight over real estate. The world is a piece of real estate in the universe. You are in the business that touches everything and everybody. How cool is that? And what you do is much more than just listen, sell. You actually make a difference in people's lives. So go out there, focus on making a difference. The money will follow you. Okay. God bless you. Thanks again. Stay safe, stay focused. And of course, don't forget to keep smiling. Bye, everybody.